chance to hear it, so let her tell it. People on the streets say Sabrina speaks. Tune into the show, she will let you know. Tell all your friends and family. Real talk is no joke. You get the news straight up from grassroots and concerned. You hear with some people gone. So tell all your friends to tune in to
Good evening, Cayman. I'm Sabrina Turner, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks, your daily dose of clarity, truth, and community insights. Every weekday from 5 to 6:30 p.m., we're tackling the issues that affect you. From national headlines to grassroots concerns. Whether you're in traffic or winding down your day, this is your chance to hear it straight and speak your truth. So buckle up, Cayman. We're not holding back.
This is the show. We gotta let you know. Now we got to go.
And now here's Sabrina.
Well, hello. Good evening. Yes, to one and all. Maybe even good night to some of you. Good morning as well. Welcome to another episode of Sabrina Speaks. Yes, Voices of the Islands, conversations for the world, and the podcast where voices rise, stories unfold, and inspiration takes center stage. I am Sabrina. This is the Sabrina Speaks show. And wherever you are, however you're tuning in, welcome back. It's good to be here with you this evening as we get ready for another exciting and hopefully informative episode on a lighter note. Yeah, it's still open mic summer edition here. And yes, we're keeping things light and fun and a little bit even spicy as we come up with some of these topics here and warmer conversations as well. But as always, this summer edition is proudly sponsored by Bridgepoint Immigration Consulting, who are seeing clients by appointment only for your immigration services, professional guidance, and the bridge that helps you move confidently into your next immigration chapter, whatever that is, or just probably you need navigation. Give them a call, 938-1337, and book your consult today. Now, listen. Even if I'm asking these questions today, even though I want your opinions here, your stories, and even your perspective, the big thing is this is still open mic. And that means you're free to jump in. That means you're free to laugh and even challenge, or even sometimes a little confession is good for the soul because we're just talking, we're just vibing, we're exploring how people think here today. And I'm hoping that today's topic, we're diving into culture, concert, audience participation, and even the psychology behind stepping into the spotlight. Because I want to know, would you pay top dollar for a concert ticket, hoping the artist calls you up on stage? And if the performance gets a little, let's say, provocative, not inappropriate, just bold, would you still participate? Yeah, those two questions. Yeah. Well, I'm going to unpack that today, and I welcome your comments. You can comment below, you can call in, you can be a part of this conversation here. But just to remind you, even though those questions are out there, it was stemmed by an article that is actually going viral because there was a lady who was called up on stage at a concert. Some of y'all will be doing the splits. I know it for a fact. But she wasn't feeling it. And pretty much social media is split on it. So yes, that sparked the conversation. But please remember, the views expressed by callers, guests, and online commenters are their own and not those of Bridge Media Limited, its affiliates, the Sabrina Speaks show, or the host. This program is for general information only and not a substitute for legal, medical, financial, or professional advice. Now, all participants are reminded to speak responsibly and respectfully, and any content that is defamatory, discriminatory, unlawful, or harmful is strictly prohibited and will not be endorsed or tolerated. Listener participation implies acceptance of this disclaimer. You want to join in on this live? Oh, yes, call in and give me your answer to those questions, or even WhatsApp them. I'll keep you anonymous. That number is 345-936-8255. And like I said, join in live if you so choose, or you can send me a WhatsApp there. I'll be more than happy to include it. But please continue to like, follow, share, and subscribe. You're seeing where we're getting recognized. Thank you. And that is all because of your participation, your referrals, and just being here with us. Whether it's live or you're playing catch up, that's okay. We appreciate you. But please continue to like, follow, and share the page with your friends, family, colleagues, so that you're always notified and you're never missing an episode. But worse, it's not that easy finding us if you're not following us. And beyond our control, we don't know. Is it going to be a reel or is it going to be on the main page? You don't have that problem if you follow, like, and subscribe. That's just a little housekeeping. Let's see exactly what's going on with our weather forecast here this evening. Compliments of our friends there of the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. They're calling for the synopsis is saying increasing cloud cover and showers are anticipated overnight as a tropical wave moves across the Western Caribbean and influences the Cayman Islands. Now, lingering moisture associated with the wave may support occasional cloudy spells and a few showers into Friday morning before a building ridge of high pressure promotes more stable conditions later into the day. Moderate winds and seas will persist through the period, and radar imagery depicts no significant activity in and around the Cayman area. The forecast for this evening is calling for partly cloudy skies with cloudy spells and a 30% chance of overnight showers. Now, temperatures will fall near the low to mid 80s, and winds will be east to northeast 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Tomorrow's forecast is calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of morning showers. Temperatures will rise near the low to mid 90s with a heat index of 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, winds will be east to southeast 10 to 50 knots, and seas will be moderate, wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. There will be a high tide tonight at 10:22, a low tide at 4:39 tomorrow morning, and another high is expected at 10:19 in the morning. Sun will set this evening at 7:01 and sun will rise tomorrow morning at 6:02. Now, the outlook is calling for fair conditions from Friday afternoon as a ridge of high pressure builds across the Northwest Caribbean. Mild dust will affect the Cayman Islands through Saturday before conditions become conducive for shower and Sunday ahead of an approaching tropical wave. Definitely that approaching tropical wave would be welcome, but definitely not the dust. Welcome, welcome, one and all. It's good to be here with you on this fabulous Thursday, one day before the weekend, and definitely a day closer to me saying, yay, I'm finally able to take just a couple days, whether or not I go anywhere or not. It's just a fact that I'm going to take some time to reset and recharge and come back fiery. Let's see what's making local news here this evening on the Sabrina Speaks show. We got some shout outs here to do, even some anniversary. Thank you all for joining in that anniversary thing. Got to poke some fun at my little couple there last night, and you guys just jumped on it immediately. Thank you so much for sharing the love. We got some pictures to share last night, just in case you missed them, and we're going to make some trouble here, a little bit of trouble, just having some fun, because that's how we do it here on the Sabrina Speaks. And whether or not, if you were called up on stage, I'd like to get your opinion. I can see Carolina Love just stepping up to the occasion. I see him there coming on stream. But you know what? Before I start troubling you guys, let's take a look at the news for this evening. The Cayman Islands government has published the official summary of the cabinet meeting that was held on Wednesday, the 15th of July, 2026. Now, during that session, cabinet reviewed the National Drug Council's annual report for 2025, along with the Auditor General's 2026 opinion on the report, and authorized the Minister of Health, Environment and Sustainability to present it at the next sitting of Parliament. Cabinet also approved the Airports Authority Air Navigation Services fee regulations for 2026 and confirmed a reallocation of funds from the Ministry of Education and Training to the Ministry of Planning, Lands and Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure in line with the Public Management and Finance Act. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Hilary Wool says the Cayman Islands has now advanced antimicrobial resistance testing capabilities, including antimicrobial susceptibility testing and whole genomic sequencing. Now, she says these tools allow healthcare teams to identify drug-resistant bacteria faster, support appropriate antibiotic use, and strengthen Cayman's contribution to regional surveillance. Now, Dr. Wolf says that this milestone opens new opportunities for Caribbean collaboration and congratulated CARFA and its partners as efforts to combat AMR continues. The Department of Environment says Mini-Me, an adult female loggerhead tagged on June 29th, has completed her nesting season and begun her migration, unlike Atlas, who traveled north towards Cuba, and Watts, who moved south towards Nicaragua. Now, Mini-Me is heading east. She is the first of 3 turtles that sponsored by Air G Life, whose support is helping researchers track turtle movements and identify key habitats between nesting season. Now, the public can follow her journey on doe.ky/turtle tracker. That'll be interesting to follow, don't you think? Now, new licensing regulations take effect on September 1st. We'll see non-Caymanians paying up to 8 times more for driver's license permits and tests. Now, under the new traffic amendment regulations, for a 3-year license will raise from $75 to $600, and a 10-year license from $250 to $2,000. The Chamber of Commerce is urging government to delay implementation and work with the business community, warning the increases could raise operating costs, impact low-wage workers, and ultimately push prices higher for consumers. In other local news this evening, we see Passport to Success is thanking sponsors and supporters as the summer 2026 cohort wraps up another successful year. The program says Orientation Day was a standout moment with special appreciation to Charmaine Simpson of Cayman National Bank for leading financial literacy training, along with contributions from the Cayman Islands Red Cross and the Ministry of Education and Training. As we make and turn our attention over to regional news making Sabrina Speaks this evening, we start with Cuba. Cuba has eased several long-standing restrictions on private vendors and importers. Now, the government confirmed that effective Wednesday, 46 of the 125 prohibitions on private industry have been removed. Officials says the changes are part of a broader effort to open space for small businesses and improve access to goods following years of tight controls on private commerce. Analysts note that the move could signal a gradual shift in Cuba's economic policy. And out of Jamaica this afternoon, we see where the Morant Bay Highway has been officially renamed to Paul Bogle Highway. Government officials says the change honors the national hero's legacy of courage, justice, and freedom. More than 150 years after the Morant Bay Rebellion. Now, the remaining part of this renaming is part of an ongoing efforts to recognize key figures in Jamaica's history and strengthen national heritage. The Paul Bogle Highway designation is now fully in effect. Former St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves have been invited to Ghana to join its Global Advisory Council on Reparatory Justice. A longtime advocate for Caribbean reparations, Gonsalves says that the role creates a major opportunity to deepen Africa-Caribbean cooperation and advance a coordinated global agenda focused on justice, recognition, and repair. Regional leader says his appointment strengthens the Caribbean's voice on the international stage. Out of the U.S. this afternoon, we see the U.S. Department of State says Americans will soon be able to apply for the new America 250th commemorative passport. Beginning August 8th, the special edition document will be available through passport agencies nationwide as part of the country's semi-quincentennial celebrations. Now, officials says the commemorative passport responds to the public demand and marks a milestone ahead of America's 250th anniversary. Thousands of African migrants have arrived in Spain's North African enclave at Captua, prompting local authorities to urge Madrid to declare a national emergency. Now, officials says more than 1,500 people crossed into the city from Morocco over the past week, overwhelming social services and creating a humanitarian crisis. Videos circulating online show large groups running across beaches and climbing hillsides to enter the territory. Now, Centua, an autonomous Spanish city bordering Morocco, has long been a focal point for irregular migration into Europe. As we wrap up this section of Sabrina Speaks news headlines for today, we see where the Union of European Football Association says it will boycott the FIFA World Cup if the organization proceeds with what it calls a sellout plan. Now, the decision followed a crisis meeting of all 55 member nations chaired by UEFA President Scherfen, who has been openly critical of FIFA's direction under Infantino. Now, the move could see England and other European teams skip the 2030 tournament, partially hosted in Spain, Portugal, and throwing the future of the World Cup into uncertainty. Now, 2030 is a good ways away, so we'll have to keep our eye on this as it develops. I saw other news coming out of there, which I'll try to cover tomorrow, and I dig deeper into it in regards to CONCACAF and some of its members and disagreeing with selling off some shares. So obviously, this is something that's continuing to evolve, continuing to develop, and we will definitely keep you abreast of what is happening there as well. Oh, yes, we will. Welcome, welcome, one and all. It's good to be back with you here this evening. And I really saw something today. Let me grab some images here. Did you all know anything of it being Friendship Day today? Are you guys aware of that? That today's Friendship Day? Well, guess what? We have one organization here who's went all out with some little people and some big people, just sharing the love and being happy that they know each other on Happy Friendship Day. And I am talking about none other, let me get these pictures here. Yeah, than the NCVO's Children's Service Program. Yes. These guys are just celebrating and wishing the Cayman Islands a happy Friendship Day, celebrating the power of friendship and sharing a child's confidence and sense of belonging. Now, the organization in itself says, simple acts and kind words and shared laugh or even a helping hand can make a lasting difference in a young person's life. And with supportive staff, as you can see here, and volunteers and families standing alongside them, the NCVO says that today is a reminder that every child deserves to feel valued, encouraged, and definitely never left alone. So yes, happy Friendship Day from the NCVO. You can see these guys are having a good time today. I didn't know today was Happy Friendship Day. I just stumbled across that and thought I would give them a moment here on the Sabrina Speaks. You know how we do it. We try to include everybody. Let's say happy birthday. Send birthday shout outs to anyone and everyone who is celebrating a birthday today, or even those who celebrated a birthday yesterday and we have missed you. Happy belated birthday from all of us here on the Sabrina Speaks family here. We like to keep it light. We like to keep it airy. We like to keep it fresh. Whoops, I just gave you a sneak peek fasten into these people business, that's what I get. But you know what? They allowed me to do it. But for even those who are celebrating wedding anniversaries, yeah, guess who celebrated their wedding anniversary yesterday? Yes, I see you guys sharing the love and all the well wishes coming in last night when I became aware of this. And I'm talking none other than Ozzy and Nancy. They celebrated 26 years of their wedding anniversary yesterday. And I saw it only after the show ended. I think Moritz put up something, and oh yeah, your girl jumped on it. Now watch him. Look at him. He was out last night, Ozzy was out, and he got killed me for this. Oh God, he got killed me. Watch him. But, Nancy, we want to raise our hat to you. I salute you for putting up with this gentleman for 26 years. That love, I cannot find a definition of love and the heart that you have to deal with him. Oh, Lord, yes. But you know what? From all of us, just having fun here on the Sabrina Speaks family, I hope that you had a very, very good anniversary and that last night was also fun. And from all of us here on the Sabrina Speaks family, you saw all the love and that was pouring in from our platform. We share that with you and wishing you many, many more. So yeah, I know the brute, he gonna get me. Oh Lord, I'm gonna have to run from him whenever I see him because he knows. But it's just all good fun and sharing with you on this and to others who may have been celebrating anniversaries and just celebrating huge milestones yesterday. We too want to celebrate with you and send you nothing but love for sure. Now, there are those amongst us in the community, we know how that goes, that they are mourning the loss of a loved one. We want you to know that our thoughts and prayers are with you as well during this time. And I do have some public service announcements that I want to share here with you. And that is a reminder for tomorrow. I just saw something there. For tomorrow evening, the candlelight service is tomorrow evening, the 31st, for Patrick William Watler. That takes place at 7 p.m. at Prospect Park. That is the same park that is labeled Eddie Sanchez Park that borders Victory Avenue and Prospect Drive. So this is taking place tomorrow evening, the 31st at 7 at the Prospect Park, and in memory of my dear friend, so well known throughout the Cayman Islands. I can almost say he is a social media star with his singing and just being Patrick. But he is definitely missed from the Prospect Red Bay area for sure. And anytime I'm passing the old vicinity of the Prospect constituency office there, which is now the Red Bay constituency office, you were expected to see Patrick somewhere in that vicinity there between Macross, Pool my office, the Ramjeets, and the house that's next door. So yes, I will definitely be skedaddling out of here a little earlier tomorrow evening, not too early, but because it's at 7, to definitely pay my last respects. So yes, that is a gentle reminder. And also, the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service is mourning the passing of retired senior police constable Howard D. Campbell. And SPC Campbell served the Cayman Islands with a distinction for nearly 38 years. And that's before retiring. He retired in 2021. Now, remembered for his quiet demeanor, his professionalism, his bravery, and deep commitment to the community, policing across every district. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service is inviting former colleagues and friends and members of the public to honor his life at a funeral service that will also be on Saturday, the 1st of August, at the First Assembly of God. That is Old Crew Road, beginning at 1 p.m. So, his service will never be forgotten, but this is also a public service announcement on behalf and for the police, Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, if you have come in past with this gentleman who's made Cayman his home and definitely been of service for the past 38 years. Yes. Oh my goodness. That is a long time. But definitely our thoughts and prayers go out to his family, friends, former colleagues as well. We want you to know that you are remembered and we share your loss with you. Also, other community service announcements here, and just gentle reminders because this weekend is going to be a big one. It's going to be a busy one as well, from what I'm seeing right now. There's so much things happening, so much things that are going on. I want to make sure I keep you abreast of all of them. Just let me grab this. We even got a team that is traveling overseas to represent the Cayman Islands in the sports of darts. Yeah, we got a team that is going to be representing the Cayman Islands here, and we definitely don't want to, leave them out. If I see it, I'm definitely yes, yes. Thank you, Harry. That is a long time to give of service, and that is just his personality. He is a very quiet person. I've only crossed paths with him a few times, but it's true. His has a warm, professional demeanor and seen but rarely heard. He's one of those persons, Harry. So thank you for weighing in on that. You could be a real Caymanian by the time you get here, Harry. Just let me grab one more image here and I'll go in and I'll wrap up this section and get your feedback on those two questions that I threw out there, because I want to make sure that we're all in tuned, and definitely these gentle reminders are key. So yes, let's start off with this one because they're going to be representing us, and that's the Cayman Islands Dart Association is proudly representing the Cayman Islands and the Caribbean darts at the Caribbean Darts Championship with a 12-member team, including 8 male players and 3 female players, along with their coach manager. Now, the competition has been tough, but the team continues to show resilience and determination and true Caymanian spirit. Now, after the third hard-fought matches, they secured a well-earned draw today against Turks and Caicos Islands and remain focused as they continue competing with pride. Now, no matter how this ends up, look, we are proud of you guys. We support you, and we're going to keep abreast of everything that's going on, and we'll definitely share it here as well. So best of luck to you and your other games that is coming up. And remember now on Saturday, lots are going on Saturday, guys. Remember this. Saturday, the official opening for the Central Scranton Park. And OMG, I saw a video that Sandra shared this morning of this space. That is definitely evolving into something spectacular. And but you know what? Go and see it for yourself from 3 to 5 this Saturday. And remember that parking will be available at One Capitol Place, Government Administration Building, and the Flowers parking lot off of Martin Drive. So yeah, go here and be a part of this historic opening, and definitely make sure you get your pictures, and I intend to be there for sure. And the CBC public auction of undeclared and seized goods takes place also Saturday morning at from 10 until 2 at 42 Owen Roberts Drive right here in the capital, Georgetown. So make sure you get up early. Make sure you arrange your transport. Yep. Internet Talk Caymanian. Oh Lord. Yeah, what a mess. You'd be something else. I'm getting to you. So remember that public auction event that's taking place, and also opening up for the first time. Yeah, as we prepare our kids to go back to school for Prospect Primary School, their uniform shop opening hours will start from this Saturday and every Saturday until the 15th of August from 9 until 3. Okay. So that's this Saturday, the 8th and the 15th. Yeah. Prospect Primary School uniform store will be opening as of this Saturday. So you go beat the rush. And yes, Beat of Our Heart drumming summer camp that will take place from the 10th to the 16th with Willie Stewart, who will be the instructor, and he's a former drummer and percussionist of Third World Band. Now, this has age restrictions. They will consider as low as age 12 to 18, okay? But please, spaces are limited. This is a free camp, so we want to give you a gentle reminder of that. Yes. I think that concludes all of my housekeeping for today. I know some of you are traveling. You're in a different time zone. Harry, we got some Caymanians over there who took the journey over and staying up with us. Yes. And I am talking about Connie. Connie is in the UK, Harry. and hello to you. Hey, Miss Carol Martin, you are more than welcome. Yes, yes, yes. Connie Bonnie is here, but guess what? She did not fall short of her content creating in bloom. And she told me, look, she found orchids over there all ready to buy. This woman is something else. Oh my goodness. Anyhow, we're happy that you're here with us. You know, we're going to be taking some days off next week. So yeah, you'll get a break from that, but still capture those moments, capture those images that you have for us, and save them up until we go live again. But she was still able to make sure that she could have this beautiful orchid to share with us today. So yes, 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 I'm getting something. I'm going to look at that. Yeah, gotcha. Got some messages coming in here by WhatsApp. Yes, we got North Carolina love. That is Marshall, who's in the house joining me today. It's so good to have you as usual. And oh, there is a picture I'm looking for here. Where is it? Where is it? Oops, that's gone. It's the message. Yeah. Sorry. When you produce, you create, and you deliver, and you edit, and all this sort of stuff, it goes crazy sometimes. But yes, good evening, Marshall. It's good to have you joining me here this evening as well. Donnie's in the house, and for all of you who are living in the Eastern Districts or feel the drive up there, go and visit Donnie at Green Valley Nursery. She has some beauties out there all the time, and she is more than happy to share, gives you ideas and even designs. So yeah, Green Valley Nursery from 7 until 4, Monday to Saturday, if you want to do that beautiful space and definitely enhance wherever it is you want to decorate. Damian Henry's in the house with me today as well, staying up late. He says, good evening, all. Influence is about being genuine. Authenticity creates trust. Trust builds relationship, and strong relationships are the foundation of lasting influence. The man with the plan, and definitely the man with the words. Harry is saying, what do you think of CARICOM, Reparations Commission's updating its manifesto to demand UK French and other European overseas as reparations of the CARICOM members? That is very, very interesting as we see this. It's going to be delicate. I see no reason or anything wrong with them actually going for it. Now, how successful they will be will largely determine on the togetherness, Harry. That is the God's truth. I'm being honest with you. And I'll get back to some of this and we can go a little bit more deeper into that. But yes, you were recognizing that former police officer for his 38 years of service is incredible. Condolences to his family. See, his family is even getting those condolences from Harry in the UK, who has never been in the Cayman Islands, but he's definitely agreeing. Like I said, internet taught Caymanian. You're going to be our internet Cayman. You get your own status residency via virtual immigration. What a mess. Yes, yes, yes. See, Connie's agreeing. And now she's in bed. Lady, go to sleep until your body just gets used to it. But you know what? We love you. We love that you're still here. Oh, here, Connie. Harry is saying in the worst of the second countries, in the worst of the second countries, Connie, stop it, Harry. You are something else. She decided to come over there and take up all of the heat that you're getting over there that you can't manage. OMG, that is something else. Well, look here. I found this just before going live today, and I thought I would share this because we do have a lot of Mercedes-Benz owners here in the Cayman Islands. But if you are a 2019 to 2026 Mercedes-Benz vehicle owner, I want you to listen up because I got some information for you that is just rolling off the press. It's like it's really hot. And I got another thing here as well. Mercedes-Benz is recalling more than 310,000 vehicles due to a door lock defect that could cause cars to roll away unexpectedly. Regulator says that the issue involves faulty door latch sensors that may fail to detect when a door is open, preventing the vehicle from engaging its automatic park function. Now, the recall covers several models, like we said, in those years between 2019 and 2026. And the Mercedes says owners will be notified and repairs will be carried out at no cost. Now, safety officials are urging drivers to check their vehicle recall status. Now, this is not speaking on behalf of the Cayman Islands thing. This is nationally. I pulled this off of Mercedes. Forbes reported it. And yeah, I'm just sharing it with you because you know how it goes here. The franchise and those who we do have a dealership here. So if you're actually one of those owners, I'm quite sure in short order, our locals here will be notifying you as well. Now, like I said, Mercedes, for context, is recalling a total of 310,677 vehicles with model years between 2019 and 2026, which could have the corrosion issue in their driver's side doors. Now, if the parking brake fails, it could cause vehicles to roll away. However, Mercedes is unaware of any vehicles or any causes of this happening thus far, according to early reports. So owners of these impacted vehicles can take their vehicles to their dealer, and what is being stated now, I guess they will arrange for how you can correct this error. So this is if you are a Mercedes-Benz owner between 2019 and 2026. Be aware of that. And it's always good to keep abreast with your local dealership as well, in case, you know, they are doing all of this. It's good to see you all coming in. Yes. Welcome back. Okay. I got another thing. Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture is just sharing something here with me. We're getting it live here today. That's the me. I know we heard about this when we had Miss Shakira and the other guest. Oh my God, I'm just grabbing this when you're doing multiple things. There we go. We got a show that's coming up here in the Cayman Islands, and we definitely want to let you, our viewing and listening audience, know about what is upcoming. Compliments of, and this is a free event. Now, belly laughter, full of laughter. Let me get it here. We're getting it here in real time for you. Just in case you want to plan a good evening out, the Honorable Isaac Rankin, Minister of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage, present a night of culture diversity featuring Oliver Samuels live in the Cayman Islands with his new hit play, Where There's a Will, There's a Criminal. We heard about this, right? But guess what? Here's the dates. Friday the 7th of August, they're going to be in Kimmebrack at the Aston Ruddy Center from 6:30, and it's open to the public who wants to attend. Now, on Saturday, August the 8th, he will be at the Harkwell Theater here in Grand Cayman from 6, but this event is by invitation only. Now, Sunday, August the 9th, the Lion Center, he will be at the Lion Center, and this will be open to the public. Now, please note that admission is free. Come out and enjoy an evening celebrating cultural diversity through theater, laughter, and entertainment. So yes, this is the latest on that. So right here in Grand Cayman, Sunday, August the 9th, Lion Center, open to the public, 6 o'clock. If you want to participate, make this a family evening. This is a free evening from 6 o'clock. You go there. And for Kimmenbrackers and even Little Cayman, take the trip over to the Aston Ruddy Center. That is Friday, the 7th of August from 6:30, and that is open to the public. So there you go. So I don't know, all of you who follow this gentleman, Oliver Samuels, for years, oh my goodness, he is still having people laughing. Yes, he is. He's still doing it. So yeah, that we want to thank the Ministry of Culture, Youth, Sports, and Culture for sending us that. And we are definitely going to do another. We're going to post it afterwards so that you don't forget. We'll do a reel, give you all the dates and all that good stuff so that you don't forget. So there's lots of stuff happening. Who says you can't have a good time by being at home? You don't have to travel. Enjoy home. Connie Bonnie is in another time zone. Yes, she is literally, but she has stayed up. And Connie is saying to Harry, she's used to it. Good evening, Andrew. It's good to have you here with me this evening. always. And Miss Brenda is jumping on as well. And to you, good evening. So welcome back to another episode of the Sabrina Speaks show. It's good to be with you. This summer edition continues, and we keep things light, fun, a little bit spicy even, as we move through these warm weather conversations. Yeah, literally. And as always, the summer edition is proudly sponsored by Bridgepoint Immigration Consulting. Appointments only, yes, services and professional guidance and bridging that helps you move confidently to your next chapter. So you want to go ahead, give them a quick message on 345-938-1337. That's 345-938-1337 to book your consult today. So listen, today's topic, and for those of you just jumping on the live, you may not have heard the two questions that I asked. Oh, really? Oh, my goodness. Here we go. We're ready for it. It's open mic, so I can stop mid-statement. It's fine. 936-8255. Oh, boy. So today's topic, we're diving in, as I said at the beginning, of concert culture, audience participation, and pretty much the psychology behind stepping into the spotlight, right? Because I want to know, would you pay top dollar for a concert ticket, hoping that the artist calls you up on stage? Would you? Like, I'm hearing some figures as much as $20,000, $10,000, $8,000. And that's on the lower scale. Yeah. Would you pay top dollar? Just hoping that you get called on stage. And if the performance gets too provocative, not inappropriate, as I said at the beginning, just bold, would you still participate? I'd like to get your feedback on those comments or that question, those two questions. I'd welcome your comments on that, your answers. You can feel free to call in, join in live. What would you take about it? How would you see it? Now, is there a greater chance for females to be caught in this? Or you think it's equal that males, based on the artist, for a concert, whatever, would actually be susceptible to this? And even if it happens, some artists comes with their own brand, that there's just certain things that are expected at certain concerts. Would you then pay top dollar to be front and center, knowing what brand comes with that artist, and you're right there with a good chance that you could be called on stage? Where could it go? What would you do? It could be the moment that you never can tell. Give them a wine and you got one job that you paid for. What would you do? Would you freeze? Would you go along with it? What really, if you've never been in that position, or you wish you had the gall to do it, or you probably were in that position, you're like, hey, we got one life to live. Let's go for it. Well, I want to hear from you on this. Call in live and give me your views. That's 936-8255. And, it's open mic. So even though I've asked these questions today, I want your opinion, hear your stories, or maybe even confessions. After all, this is still open mic. That means you're free to jump in, disagree. If you got something else that's more pressing. I got a few messages in regards to the category 3 building of these foul coops. And I saw the article, and people are going crazy, but we're going to look at that a little bit more in depth tomorrow. So, but even if it's bugging you that much, and even that you want to go ahead. This is a place we're just easing into it. But we're just not talking. We're vibing, and I love your participation. I love when you get involved. I love to get your feedback on these things because of where it's going. The whole thing came up because, like I said, I saw an article where, and it's going viral. I'd even made the ABC News, I think I saw it on CBS, one of them, where a lady is getting, the internet is now divided with someone who paid top dollar to attend a concert of a very popular artist, male artist, and ended up being invited on stage. And obviously the vibe when the performance, becoming part of the performance, which I set the stage, was a bed and what appeared to be a propped bed. And it got exactly what would have been expected from that artist. but based on one's demeanor and one's posture, it was like, hey, she's not feeling it. Now the internet is split over, she did the right thing. And some would be like, what the heck? What's wrong with you? You get that opportunity and you didn't go for it. You didn't play along. Then why? What's your take on that? Yeah, it would be interesting, but it still goes to ask that general question. Would you pay top dollar for a concert ticket with hopes of being called up on stage? Not a guarantee, not a VIP package that promises meet and greet, just the possibility, the fantasy that the artist might look into the crowd, point you out, and say, come up here. You're the one that I choose. Now, hold on. Harry's saying, nope, I'm good. Okay, that's you, because you probably don't like to be on the stage. You don't like that type of thing. Now, this question tells me a lot about personalities. Some people may be like, one chance, just one chance. Just give me that one chance. I paid some serious money, airfare and accommodation. Yeah, just give me one chance. I gotta give him one chance. We don't know. Some people are mean character energy all day, right? They want to be in the front, the limelight. They love the spotlight. They love the idea of being chosen over hundreds, sometimes even thousands of people in an arena, in a theater, whatever. They love the adrenaline of the moment that becomes now with things going viral, it could be a story that is out there forever. Now, others, they're like, hold up, just like Harry, I paid for the music, not the attention. You stay up there, find somebody else who wants that, but I just wanted a good view. I just wanted to know I was literally in your space, but I don't want to be a part of your act. Yeah. So it is interesting how I got that from a couple of friends. And then when I said the name of an artist, they'd be like, oh yeah, hands down. Oh Lord. Oh yes. I would do the splits. I would do the somersaults. I'd be like, come on, girl. You broke your neck. But no, what I'm saying is it all depends on the personality, right? So there are some people who say, yes, they'd pay top dollar. Call me up right now. I want that moment, that memory, that video. There's a chance I could go, and including the clout. And then you have some saying, I'm not going to a concert and want the full, they're going to the concert and they definitely want the full experience. This group thrives, from what I'm seeing, on live moment adrenaline is what we would label that by when I was digging more into what could cause that. Because what we find, like I said, they're the main character. They love the energy, once in a lifetime experience. Hello, you know how much people got big because of leaked videos? Not to go that far though, but you get what I'm saying? You just have those kind of people. But let me see how you're actually doing, weighing in on it. Harry saying, no, I'm good. Harry saying, I will attend the show and no more. I am an introvert person by nature. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But you, like I said, you have those who pay the money for a reason. Harry says, I feel like this is a know the artist issue, like it is with comedians. If you go see a comedian, you should know what they're going to joke about. Harry, you hit the nail on the head. I ended up, oh God, what is his name? In Vegas. I attended a comedy show, and guess what? Yours truly ended up on the stage. Whose line is it? I think the guy, whatever. We went to see him, and I got chosen, and I knew right away, oh God, I didn't say no. I guess I can live in this moment of adrenaline. But this was not a concert. I didn't expect anything to go south or ranchy or anything. It was a comedy show. So yeah, It could go anywhere. So, of course, you introduce yourself. Where are you from? And of course, got the name, what I was doing. Those days I was in immigration. And that goes to show you how long ago it was. And where you from? You see, from the time I said the Cayman Islands, oh, it went into hiding money, but it was all comical. Nothing to tear down Cayman. He didn't go that far. No, he didn't. And then he linked my job as an enforcement officer, and he just made an entire, I would say like a half-hour segment on just me. Now, I knew I was going to become part of the act, okay? Now, where he was going to take it, I don't know. But that is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I didn't pay for the VIP. It's just that where I got seated, it wasn't too far from the front. And just over in a corner where you would think that there's nowhere in hell, they're going to go in the corner, even though you're close to the front, and me, of all persons, would be picked out. Well, I had my moment of spotlight in Las Vegas being a part of an act. Would I do that if I was attending a concert with an artist who is probably infamous for gyrating, and there is a very good opportunity that somebody's undie or an underwear is going to end up on the stage? Hell to the no. Okay, I talk my foolishness all the time. If all fails, I'm going to end up on a pole in Vegas. People knows my personality. You all are learning me. But would I subject myself to certain shows where certain artists are infamous for doing certain things? That's me. That's telling you about my personality. So yes, Harry, I ended up being the topic of an entire show, pretty much, I would say it was a 2-hour thing. So yeah, you could say for one entire hour, 45 minutes out of that before the regular warm-ups and stuff like that in Vegas. And that experience I will never forget, but it was a lesson learned. It gave me, I saw myself as an ambassador those days of the Cayman Islands. It was good and all that sort of stuff. But would I do that today now? I doubt it. But it was a very good experience for me, and one that I'll probably never experience again. I don't know, unless somebody captures me somewhere else and I'm unaware of it. But I can tell you it wouldn't be anything lewd. But hey, who to tell? Big Brother is always watching, eh? Hey, Keith, thank you for joining us today. Keith is saying, depends on who the artist is, because the majority of these artists have sold their soul to Satan. So I would not pay $1 to be on the stage with them. Again, that speaks about your personality. Some don't care. Some really don't care. They got one job. They get one opportunity. There's a good chance. Now, if you got a good wine, knowing us Caribbean people, and you got a chance to showcase yourself, you never know who could be watching, and they could be saying, possibly, I'm looking for some backup dancers. Would you like to be a part of? We don't know. There could be some serious opportunities. Whether you think that's a good way of making a living, we don't know. With the power of the internet, it could break you. People have conclusions of persons going out here and what it could turn out to be. So, like I said at the beginning, I feel it's up to one's personalities, right? And it's interesting the feedback that I'm getting here. Harry saying, if you know an artist is on PG, to put it lightly, then why would you accept an invitation? Is not PG, then why would you accept an invitation to go on the stage and not accept this? Exactly. Which is why personally, your girl is very, very particular with, of course, and not like I'm stuck up or anything like that. I go to have a good time. But would I want to be on the stage? No. For fun. Then the first time I ended up on the stage, though, because I have a good time. But you never saw one thing leak, eh? All inclusives in Jamaica. Yeah, I ended up on the stage. It was a whole heap of Caucasian people, and your girl went up there and she had a blast. Oh yeah, it was just fun. All-inclusive resorts, you go and you have fun. But yes, Harry, you're quite right. Um, if you know the type of artist, you don't open yourself up to that. Must be that Sahara dust in the air. What? Oh my God, what? Knock knock off them dust relators. you you are disgusting, Aliano. You are disgusting. I can hear you now at Jerry Springer Beach. Oh my goodness, you brute, you. But yes, I just feel it's based on other people's personalities and looking at it from both sides. You know, some people have this big fixation on different artists, be it music or otherwise. You have fixations on, let's say, past presidents. I have a friend who just got this huge fixation on Obama. I mean, trust me, fixation, it bad. I wouldn't know what they would be capable of doing if the opportunity presents itself, but I know they're respectful enough to conduct themselves another way. But yeah, it is. I don't know if it was possible that they could get that one-on-one opportunity to just even sit and speak whatever. We don't swear for ourselves if you got that type of fixation. And then there may be others with other musical artists or just how they may have actors and that sort of stuff. You don't know. As children growing up or young teens growing up, you've had your own fair share of movie star crushes, first crush, and all that sort of stuff. That's where we're going. But going back to it, why would you subject yourself to that if you know that the artist comes with a certain sort of demeanor? It's what they deliver. It's their trademark, right? Would you consider that a waste? Or how would you view it? It would be good to get your opinion on that as well. Harry is saying, very cool. And the best thing is, he didn't even have to lie. Oh my God. He just had to tell the truth about the Cayman Islands. You're wrong. But I must admit, Harry, he could have gone the whole gamut with it. He did bring up the firm a little bit, but it was more a depiction of out of the Cayman Islands of how we were portrayed. But he did it in such a way that it was not below the belt. And he still brought it round to just the experience of being in the US and being at his show and other things that you could do and why they're not staying where I am and enjoying, but not in a bad way. Like he was comparing, and of all the places you could be, why did you choose here? Why did you come to see me? And he didn't go there that bad, to be honest with you. And this is a long time. But at never any point did I felt that the Cayman Islands was shown in any negative form outside of what was trending at that time, because that was when we were being featured in every movie and saying about bank accounts here and all that sort of stuff. But he could have gone even deeper into exactly what you're alluding to, Harry, but he didn't. He didn't take away from the joy of him being a comedian and just using my job those days. And of course, when I realized where it is, I'm not going to tell him the truth about everything. And because then I know what would have happened. So I made it fun. The good thing is the old head were working quick. Those days I was much younger. And that's made it even more funny. So those are some fond memories of me being in that position randomly, never expecting to have ever been called out on stage. And I've had that experience. But putting it back to music lovers, there are some people who say, no way, like you, Harry, like you. I'm just here for the performance, they will say, and I'm not going to go up on stage. And then you have those who just want to go and show what they can do. It's just living their lives to the fullest. How do we judge them? You don't. Everyone has their right, I feel, at these events to do as they may so please, right? Now, what we see with these people who outright says, no, I'm just paying the extra for a maybe, or just because I want to get the experience of the early drinks, the photo ops, that sort of stuff, but not the photo ops to be on stage, right? But this group values financially practicality. That's how you would look at this group of people. And they prefer observing over participating. And I have a number of friends who are just like that as well. They might even suffer a little bit from stage anxiety, but because of who's around them, they don't feel that exposed, but they're never going to find themselves up there, right? The good thing about both sides of this, neither side is wrong. No, just that they're two different sides of enjoying the experience, enjoying it. Yeah. So at the end of the day, can you beat up on somebody who pays top dollar? The opportunity presents itself and they'll be like, no. Some of my friends be like, the lick I would give you side your head if you were to be, let's say, call it out. Let's call it out. Usher concert. If that's what he calls his name, himself, right? Usher? I'm at an Usher concert and just gets the opportunity to be on stage, gets called out. OMG. Do I look at my friend and say, you go, and then I put her forward? But he's saying, no, you. I know some of you have dreams in them. I don't want to go. It doesn't mean that I don't like you. I just don't want to be up there. Because, yeah, I know where it could go, meaning how it could appear as a part of the act. Some will say, I would break your neck to get up on that stage because that's one in a lifetime to be in his personal space, almost, even though it's viewed by hundreds, if not thousands. That's a once in a lifetime opportunity, Sabrina. What the heck are you saying? No, it's just not my thing. It's just not my thing because why? I don't mind his music, but based on his performance, do I want to be straddled by him on a public stage? That's the key. Hey. Who's reading between the lines? Yeah, at the end of the day. And then you got to think at the consequences. If you're there with a girls or all girls trip, or if you're there with your significant other, your partner, hey, you could end up being divorced. That relationship could go south, or they'd be like, go work that money, money, money. It all depends on the type of personalities. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Not everything needs to be out there on open stage. But if that's what's making that show, that artist so successful, why are you making yourself a target? It's just a random question that I'm throwing out there. Personally, no. One-on-one experience if I got the opportunity. Yeah, but not on stage. An autograph, couple pictures, maybe just sit down, have a drink in the back of the stage because you have those meet and greets and you just chit chat and it's always common. Where you're from, yada, yada, yada. What do you do? It's like scripted. And you get a couple pictures and you move on. You post them on social media. But I'm talking about being a part of the act. So let's go deeper. Harry's saying all jokes, but UK, mainland only. Approximately 325 billion in illicit money flows through the UK. UK combined with CDs and over OTS. The total surge to roughly 800 billion per year. Look here. Like I said, I became a part of the act, but he could have done worse. Whether he connected to BOTC, I don't care. But he didn't go as bad as he could have. And yeah, I'm an ambassador, okay, man. Oh no, I ain't gonna make him go there, which is why I changed the script. I realized what was happening and I changed the script and I kept it positive. That was the good thing. Let's see what we're getting here. It's also about what you're going to face when you get home or get off the stage if you have a significant other. Yeah, it's true. That's a WhatsApper that's commenting. It's true. You got to know exactly what you're going to face when you get back home. Now, the chances are that if you're just all with the Earl Girls trip, Whether or not you have a significant other or not, you should think that there could be consequences. And there is, of course, you're going to want to capture the moment. Now, how far are you going to post that on Instagram, TikTok, or whatever it is, other platforms? Yeah. What are you saying? I was on stage with Usher or whomever? Yeah. What is it? But let's be real. Come on now. Let's say it does become a reality. Hold up. WhatsApper, I'm asking a general question. What are the chances of me ever being swept off of my feet by the likes of Usher that would cause my relationship? But I get a 2-minute on stage with him that, yes, could appear, but still respectful. What are the chances? Look at it from both sides. I'm just asking the general question. If the opportunity presents itself, what are the chances of that ever being happening, that they could actually take me away from my significant other? WhatsApp, I'll expect you to either call in and weigh in on that or send me your response to that. Chances of hell that that's going to happen? Ain't going to happen. No. Aliano is saying too many experience lead to break up. Yes, they may be famous, but you're rememberable to the long game. Well, that's true. But like I said, what are the odds of that ever happening? Too many are in their baby mama and baby dada mindsets. Think about the long term. Yeah, it's true. But yeah, I would expect that. What are the chances of you getting that once in a lifetime experience that you paid for? Obviously, and hopefully your significant other knew that you were going away. And of course, if you get good tickets, you paid for the experience, there is a possibility that you could be called on stage. Now, the respectful thing to do. Now, dear, if I get called on stage, I'm not gonna forego that opportunity. We good, right? We good. I ain't going nowhere. It's just on stage. Now, do you have that conversation? Is it based on maturity? Or you're like, it's not worth it? Again, it goes back to personalities, how you see yourself, knowing the type of partner that you're with as well. But you know what? Let's go a little bit deeper. Let's look at the psychology of even being chosen, the adrenaline rush of it all. And you do know that we have some people who want to be called on stage. We have seen it here with some viral videos that go around where they're just like crying and up front, and they would pretty much be almost ripping off their attire to just get the attention. We do have some people that want to be called on stage. They will go and do their makeup. They would buy a nice outfit and all that sort of stuff that leaves very little to the imagination, but they're, for some reason, front and center. It's not just attention. What we're seeing is that it's validation. It's connection with that artist. It's almost storytelling, because they feed off the energy, the vibration of the lyrics, the music, the words that is in those music, what it actually evokes in them, right? It's almost euphoric. It's the feeling of being seen by even someone you admire, but it's not the same. Or, yeah, maybe it is. Some may say love at first sight doesn't exist, but what if it is that love at first sight moment that actually happens? This is where, a parasocial relationship comes in. And that, I mean, where the sense of closeness we feel with the artist, even though we don't actually know them, in our world, parasocial world, You my boo. You, oh yeah, you my ride or die. I've been following you from high school. I got this thing on you from high school. And wow, I'm an adult. We're both adults. I grew up listening to your music. You see me? Oh, wow. I'm not going to make this opportunity pass. For some people, that opportunity feels like the artist is saying to them, you're the only one here. I see you. I appreciate you. This moment matters. It is priceless. Possibly some of you saying, yeah, and la la la, but that's not reality. Let me see. My WhatsApper weighed in on this. Oh, I wasn't thinking of for a moment. I would go for that. I would go that. No, I wasn't thinking for a moment. I would go that far. But what I'm referring to is the fact that many partners would be displeased to know if their other half is actually participating in such behavior. Now, some of these humans are so jealous, they are willing to start a fight for another person simply flirting with their partner. The other thing is, if I would get jealous of my partner engaging in such public activity, then you shouldn't go to it either. Ah, good question. Let's ask Eric if he would be okay with Usher all over his gorgeous wife. I got asked a question. He'll probably say, yeah, thank Christ, take her off my hands. Good evening, caller. Welcome to Sabrina Speaks. What's on your mind?
Well, good evening.
Eric would probably say, take her. Oh, Christ, you finally have arrived.
Listen to me. Now, you have to forgive me.
Okay.
Because I tuned in
Mm-hmm.
and had something to deal with.
All right.
So I turned it down. I realized you were talking about a musician. I couldn't quite pick up who the musician was.
No, I wasn't calling anyone, but then eventually I said, but if I went to an Usher concert.
Oh, okay.
I did get called up on a stage in Vegas, but that was a comedy show. Yeah, that was a comedy show. So of course I would have gone. But when I realized that they were making the entire, 45 minutes of me on stage, I was not going to let them throw my country under the bus with being with money laundering, right? So I changed a lot of the how I would answer to make it go back, but he didn't go. Whose line is it anywhere? There's a dark, I cannot remember his name. He's hosting another show right now. And every time I see him, it's like to this day, I have a personal relationship with him that he probably never remembered me. But again, it's the experience.
Yeah. Okay, so am I correct in assuming that you have open mic?
Yeah, man. This is a summer edition. Yeah, you can stop. We will stop. That's, for the entire summer. That's what we're doing.
Okay, because I have something to say that is way off the subject of Usher and about it else. Okay.
Okay.
This one is very close to home.
Okay.
Okay. It might need an usher. Okay. To
Mm-hmm.
the airport and perhaps the aircraft.
Oh God.
But okay. So there is a situation that's going on. It is with a male who's married to a Caymanian, and I think 2 years ago there was another domestic issue. So there was a restraining order put on him. He had to leave the yard, as you know, and immediately NAU found somewhere for him to live. Okay, so they were paying the rent and giving him $1,050 a month. This man has never done an honest day's work in his life. He's an alcoholic. He's a public nuisance. Okay. And anyway, eventually, the wife lifted the restraining order. So he returned home. And he's been back home. I know it's over a year. And NAU continues to pay the rent for him at the location. And then, in turn, he's renting it to someone else and pocketing the money.
So he's not living.
No.
Where
He's
government is
living-
paying the rent for.
No, he's not. He's not. And this is not hearsay. Okay. Okay. And in addition to that, he's still getting $1,050. So when he's finished buying his alcohol, the rest of it is sent to his country. All right. All right. So the wife became aware of this, took all of the receipts, all of the documentation to Isaac Rankin, and he told her he couldn't do anything about it. She then went to Heather Borden. She told her she didn't want to get involved. Went to West Bay, saw Julie, and I cannot say for sure that she got to see Andre, but she went to his office. And from there, she went to Foster's in West Bay, and she ran into Sandra. Told Sandra the story, told Sandra all of the receipts. Okay? And so I want to say this. I don't want to place myself where I am, sort of thing. But should I say because of my proximity, I was put on notice that I might be asked to answer a question. Of course, my position on it is I don't want to be involved in anybody else's business. But if you ask me a simple question, I'm not going to lie. So I said, depending on what the question is, if it's a yes or a no, I can answer that. So I was asked the question, I answered the question, and oh, and I forgot to say, and at least twice a week, the ambulance is there to pick him up and to take him to the HSC. Because after he's had enough of his baba, falls down, pops open his head or whatever, and so they got to take him into the hospital. All right? Again, our money. And so he was made aware that this had been reported and the matter was being looked into. So one of his sons went to his wife, asked wife, go to NAU and to tell NAU that he was in fact staying at the apartment. And she said, no, I can't do that. I'm not going to lie to him. I'll get in trouble. Okay. So Monday night just gone here, he drove out, of course, under the influence, and then he had an episode while he was on the road. The ambulance was called for him. He was taken to the hospital, and the police wanted a blood test, to check his alcohol level, but she refused. And because he didn't want to do that, he also refused to stay at the hospital. Now, with all of this being the case, now this to me is the cream on the cake. Now, Children and Family Services are now looking into providing him with a caretaker.
Huh?
So you're defrauding the government. Other people are involved in it. And you're not being held accountable. Money that could take care of some elderly Caymanian or child. And now you're being rewarded with a caretaker. And we got to pay for that too.
But are they giving him the caretaker at the apartment that they're paying for where he doesn't live, or at the home where he's residing and still paying the rent, not knowing, not connecting the dots that where he's...
No. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Every time the ambulance comes for him, they know what address they pick them up from.
Gotcha.
When you get to the hospital, of course, you have to provide your information. And all of those ENTs can attest to the fact of where they pick him up.
Yeah, he could.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Children and Family Services have gone to the residence where he's actually living, not the apartment.
Got you.
Okay? So, you got several people involved in this fraud. And while it's not sorted out, and perhaps it will not be sorted out because he's not a Caymanian, on top of that, they're now going to provide him
with a caretaker.
Huh? And so let me tell you why I have come public with this. Because I'm just sick and tired of this kind of stuff happening here when we have Caymanians that are in genuine need of help. And when they go and ask for assistance, they don't qualify.
We've been hearing a lot of those stories, but he is on island. At no point in time did he leave the island.
He is on island, okay? He did run off after the report was made. He ran for about a week, but he came back.
Oh, but not long enough for the rent that is being, for whatever assistance that he's getting to have stopped.
No, that continues. Okay? So my suggestion was, because they wanted to know the names of the landlords or landlords, I don't know, that NAU was actually paying the money to. I said, well, that is simple enough. Go and ask NAU. They should know who they're paying the money to and who they're paying it for. And again, another breakdown in the system, because they don't do any kind of inspections and stuff or monitoring to make sure that the people they're paying for are actually living there, or even just to check on their welfare.
Follow up or enforce the enforcement arm of it.
They would know exactly who's living where they're paying the rent for. And so I say, yes, I have a problem with that. I have a problem with him getting $1,050 a month to buy alcohol and to send the rest of it where he comes from. And now I have a further problem with him being provided with a caretaker. Recently, a 98-year-old woman died, a Caymanian who worked hard to raise her children. She was widowed at a very young age. One of her children is retired, living off of a grand pension, as you would know. The other one is not well. Well, I think the two that are excluding the one that is not well, I think the other two are retired and living off of their pension. So, as I said, the mother passed away. So they went to NAU to ask for assistance to take care of the mother's funeral. And I was told that the allowance that they were given, I'm just going to throw this figure out. Let's just say it was $3,500. But the coffin that they had to pick from, they said they wanted something a little better for their mother, you know? So they saw one that was $500 more. And so they said, well, you know, they would prefer that one. They would just like put in the difference for that one. And so then they were told by NAU, oh, well, if you can afford a $4,000 coffin, you don't need help from NAU.
Oh.
Okay? But that's a Caymanian. A 98-year-old Caymanian. But you don't have a problem paying $1,250 a month rent to someone who is defrauding you and further giving them $1,050 a month to buy alcohol and to send home. And now you're going to provide them
with a caretaker.
Well, you know what I'm going to say? And I could go on with other instances, but I just draw in that one because that's the most recent one. This don't sit well with me. I'm a Caymanian. I am a Caymanian. And if those people can come here and they can be taken care of so quickly, without any questions asked, but why am I not down at NAU and making them take care of me? Huh? Why shouldn't I get that kind of assistance?
I have heard something in regards to a 90-year-old person. I'm wondering if that was where I don't know if it's the same person who has now passed, but that their assistance had been cut.
Well, this person was 98.
Okay.
And the person passed away very recently. And let me just say, let me just say, I do not know if at any time during her life
Mm-hmm.
getting anything from any of you.
Oh, okay. No, that may have been another story that with the review that they were doing the other day, that a lot of people were found themselves where their assistance had been cut. And now
That happened to a lot of people.
right.
To a lot of people.
Okay.
A
But
lot
now
of
what
people.
you are describing is even worse. What is taking me back a little bit even more is that based on what you've said, for the amount of persons that the wife went to, which is trying to do a formal report to bring it to the government's attention, that none of them, based on what you've said, could have directed her to the department of to DFA.
Well,
That's
I
not
don't think-
making much sense. You understand? To me, because that would be the
Well,
right thing to do.
Sorry, let me step back a minute. One of the representatives has taken the matter
Okay.
seriously, but the others did not.
Mm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where that person has reached with it, because obviously it didn't sit well with them.
Uh-huh.
They, thank God they had enough sense and decency to realize that this is our government being defrauded.
Exactly.
And I say that to say, we'd be surprised to know how many are doing it.
Mm-hmm. Which is
Just
what
how
is
many
being
are
spoken.
doing it.
Yes. Which
Okay?
is being spoken a lot. It's just like the whole thing with the overstayers that are here. They say that it may actually blow your mind as to how much is possibly overstaying. Well, then why are we saying it so loosely and not trying to do something? And we're hearing the same thing with those persons who genuinely need government assistance that are our own, that are not getting it, but you have situations, cases that you have pointed out here, this one especially, that is rampant. Where are we? Where is the breakdown? Where is the accountability? Where is the checks and balances? It goes back to the conversation that we had yesterday in regards to the overstaying.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I tuned into you a little bit late, and well, I don't eat past a certain time, and I've gone past the time, and I don't eat very fast, but I was trying to hurry eat that I could call you because I heard you talking about that. But then Billy called, and of course,
yeah.
But by the time he was finished, the show was pretty much finished. And I said, well, I'm not going to call this evening. I'll just, call tomorrow, because I thought I heard you say open mic.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said,
all summer, we're doing
Okay.
open mic, even though, because I have to still have content to talk about if we don't get calls, right? So even though I pushed that question out there, it was because of something that I saw is going viral, and so the social media platforms are divided based on me having this topic today. But of course, sentence, whatever, I will stop. It's open mic. We can take it wherever we want to go. But one of the things that I was saying yesterday is that there's obviously a breakdown in the systems. There's obviously a breakdown in funding, adequate boots on the ground, cross-agency communication, but it's more an enforcement and manpower to double check these things. And you kind of wonder how much more hemorrhaging is happening that is going unaccounted for. And it is at the expense of the Caymanian people.
Well, you know what I say about this oversteer, the 15-year one? My first question is, who first employed him when he came to Cayman? That's where I would start, okay? Because to my knowledge, when people no longer work for you, you're supposed to notify immigration of that.
But
whether you terminated them or whether you have chosen not to renew a work permit. Secondly, he had to be staying somewhere. Thirdly, he was being helped. So again, I would say all of those people were aiding and abetting what he was doing. So he wasn't the only one that should have gone before the judge. I would have hauled all them people into court.
Well, at the end of the day, what is being said, the magistrate is asking for a pre-sentencing report, which is good. And I'm hoping that they actually will in this report, not that I'm assuming they would hold back information to not make it look so grave, but I'm hoping that this case would be one that they would just open the books and say, look, This is the facts. This is what we're dealing with. And so that we can actually close the loopholes. I see Damian Henry is actually saying exactly. All of the persons, be it the last employer, the first employer, we don't know, because context matters, how much employers in this time that this person has been on island that they've had. Would then the responsibility rest on the shoulders of the last employer?
But let me just say this, that you may not agree with me. In a case like this, I think the hammer should come down on immigration only. Because clearly, the man, as I said, was being assisted. Somebody had to know it. Somebody had to feed him. Somebody was sheltering him. Why wasn't one of those people, rather than doing that, assist him in getting home?
But
And
immigration is wide. It's a combination of WORC, CBC.
Right.
If the person was driving, licensing, and as you rightfully say,
15
renters.
years ago, we didn't have 15 years ago. We didn't have it divided like that.
Gotcha. But we don't. Yeah.
We had immigration. So if you knew of someone here working illegally or have overstayed their time, or something like that, it is your civil
duty
to report that. Otherwise, you're an accessory to the wrongdoing. So that's why I say I am not going to bring the hammer or the hatchet down on immigration only. I think all the aided and abetted should be brought before the court and answer the call. That's how I feel about that.
Well, we went back yesterday.
You don't have to agree with me, but that's how I feel.
I think everybody does agree with you, Miss Brenda.
And the other thing that I noticed that is not being mentioned is where he's from. And that speaks volumes. That speaks volumes. Because we know where he's not from. Otherwise, that would have been in capital letters. Okay? And it's a lot of that happening here. Because their own kind a system in doing so.
One of the case studies that was pointed out yesterday, because I went back and saying, well, this is not in isolation. We had cases that goes back as far as 2015 and how they were actually stumbled upon, that they were even nabbed by enforcement officers, was either domestic violence, some disagreement on a job site where employers were employing them and they weren't being paid properly. They defended themselves and then they were reported and they were just random traffic stops, that sort of stuff. So you are quietly right. Neighbors seeing somebody and made the report because, and family members as well, disputes happening. But you're right when you say it. And this is why yesterday we looked at it full circle. And the magistrate asking for the request of this report. I'm really hoping that they will just open the books up and
just...
I
am very sure that you and I both know why she's asking for that. But at the end of the day, I'm still saying, I hope it's not just immigration that the hammer could come down on. Okay?
Because there's a lot of context as to, we don't know if he was driving a car, whether it was licensed or insured.
Yeah, thieves can slip through the cracks. Okay?
Yeah.
But we shouldn't have an overstay here for 15 years and you're not sleeping on that rock, right? That shouldn't happen. Or sleeping on the beach. And I know of instances where you have people sleeping on the beach, people sleeping down on the dock, down by lobster pot and stuff. And it has been reported. It has been said on public forums such as yours. And nothing is being done about it. It begs the question, why? Why? Are the people in charge that incompetent? Or are we dealing with some kind of corruption? What is really going on? And immigration gets the blame for so many things. But I am here to defend immigration today. Because if elected members, and I'm not speaking of the present immigration minister, because I think he hit the ground running. But if the, and it don't just have to be the immigration minister. You have other elected members too that are looking favors. So if they would stay out of the business of immigration, we would have had better results a long time ago. Some of these elected members also need to understand they were the ones that ran. It was them that people elected, not their wives. Put her in her place. And if you don't have the balls to do it, then I say step down. Have a by-election so that that constituency can have a representative.
Okay. Well, for context, Miss Brenda, in regards to, and I know for all of us, it's good to just lump immigration up into one big bundle because
Yeah, but I tend to say immigration.
Yeah,
because,
but
you know, that goes way back.
But I want to,
you know?
I want to make sure we educate the public because a lot of people still have not gotten
Yeah,
accustomed to it being
That's
separated.
Fine. That's fine.
The
But I just-
WORC,
Yes.
the
yes.
WORC is more administrative, the work permits, the status, that sort of stuff. The
Mhm.
CBC side of things, separate minister, separate department, that is responsible for the ports, the extensions, the student visa, the visitor's visa, which would be, they would be the ones that would be running these reports to see who's overstaying. They would have access to see what work permits, or again, two separate departments speaking to each other where synergies should be working together. If all the work permits expire, shouldn't there be either quarterly or monthly a report that says, hey, these are all the work permits that are expired, have not been renewed. Can you double check your system on the CBC side of things to see whether or not these persons are conditioned? And if they're conditioned back as residents, do they have pending applications? Have their time expired? Have you shown where they're departed or moved on to another employer? And then it's from there that you keep extrapolating the data. And then you look then to show it. To me, and I even gave the example yesterday of being a former enforcement officer. And that used to be my responsibility with less resources, less manpower, even though we were dealing with a smaller population. Miss Brenda, what I'm trying to say is that if we had that foundation back then, going 20 years ago, I can comfortably say into 20 years ago, why are we still having this problem now? Where is it falling short?
Let me say something to you. I always used to hear the older people talk. I come from a family on my mother's side of seafarers. Okay? And you know one thing I never forgot? From a young age, when they spoke about the countries they went to, poverty, prostitution, crime. Well, you know what? Nothing breeds more corruption than poverty, overpopulation. And that's what we are now saddled with. And every problem that we are now experiencing is as a result of the importation of poverty, which has now caused overpopulation. We are split right down the middle. Have the haves
and the have-nots.
And then we have poverty-stricken ones who have come here, who have demanded what they want. They're willing to do anything, get it, male or female. And unfortunately, they somehow know who to connect with, and they get all their favors done. So again, I say, I'm not going to blame immigration. No visitor should arrive here and never leave, because someone has to know. Report it to immigration. And if you got reported a couple of times, then report it a couple of times. This is what has happened.
From what I'm understanding, there are two like enforcement arms. There's a CBC enforcement and there's a WORC enforcement. And I just want people to wrap their head around that if it is a breach of a work permit or something like that, working outside terms and conditions of work permit, but they're still got a valid work permit, that would be the enforcement arm of WORC.
But Sabrina, let me pause you there, please. It don't provoke me so much if they at least have a work permit. It's when they come here as a visitor and they're out looking work.
Gotcha.
They find work and then they're working and they never leave. Okay? Okay, right there, you have a couple of things that's wrong. But I don't want to stray too far away from the incident I brought up first.
Yeah.
Because I decided I was going to speak publicly about it. Because one thing that I know, these people don't want you to say these things publicly. But I have also learned that sometimes to get results,
that's the only way to go.
Name them and shame them. I either win no popularity contest. That's why I didn't enter either one. But I tell you what, I can always enter is the arena to fight for my country. And I should be, like every other Caymanian, should be able to live here with some dignity and respect and live the way that we're used, I'm sorry, and the way we're used to living. And not having other master cultures rammed down our throats and the very people that should be assisting our elderly and our vulnerable children. They're ignoring them. But these people can pile in here and get assistance. So you're removed from your home because of violence. A restraining order is put on you. And within a month, you got assistance from NAU.
And you got people waiting for months. That is legit.
And you got Caymanians who have been flat out denied. No, I'm sorry. It's cheaper to buy him a ticket and send him home. Much cheaper. Just like this overstayer here. It's cheaper to buy him a ticket and send him home.
But now he's incarcerated, costing the people.
And then you got to pay close to $100,000 a year to take care of him. It's not that he committed murder. Just send him home.
We had some people saying they might as well give him residence because obviously he didn't, outside of overstaying, which the law is a law, he didn't commit no crime that we're aware of at this time.
But if we were under U.S. law, he would have a claim to that, like with squatters' rights. But British law is different.
Right.
And so I say, you don't get rewarded for bad behavior.
Understood.
No, I couldn't agree with giving him permanent residence. He broke the law. He's aware that he broke the law. And all of his enablers are aware they were breaking it with him. So I say, send him home. Persona non grata. Okay?
Do you think there's going to come a time where there's going to be national, and this is where we talk about Vision 2008 and nationally, how things set the guidelines nationally of what to expect. For example, renters. It is not all renters ask for you to prove your current immigration status. Is that going to be a norm now? Because then nationally, it is an expectation that if on a work permit, we know the accommodation sheet, the landlord's signature is on there. You get where I'm going? If the landlord's name is on the last accommodation sheet for that, let's use this case, 15 years. Does that make them responsible of always knowing as a landlord that you have a valid work permit or you have a valid government contract? Even if you extrapolate certain information out of a contract then, for example.
No, you see, again, I wouldn't charge the landlord with that responsibility. I'm going back to the first work permit holder. I think you bring someone here on a work permit, you should know where they're living. You should be able to prove that that's where they're living. And you let them know if you change residence, you have to tell, assuming they're not a living. then you have to notify me that you have changed residence. Because for as long as, and you know this, for as long as they're on island and you're holding their work permit, you are responsible for them.
But not if they've changed employers during the time that they're on
No,
island.
no. Hold on. I'm saying the permit holder.
Okay,
If I'm not
okay.
holding the permit for Mr. X
Mhm.
anymore,
Mhm.
then I should notify immigration.
Yes, which
I
is the
no longer
cancellation
have this
letter.
person employed. I either I terminated him or I'm not renewing the work permit.
Release letter or termination letter. But what I understand, right, Miss Brenda, that once employers either release them or terminate them for whatever reason, that removes liability. This is a practice. However, I think it can be challenged. That removes liability off of that last work permit holder, the employer.
Yes. But my
so they
point
become their
is,
own responsibility.
No.
Ah.
No. Unless the law has changed. Once there is no more work permit for whatever reason, either it expired, it was terminated, I'm not putting an application to renew. You were given 2 weeks to leave the island. That's when we had enforcement back in the day called honor. And if you, of course, there were exceptions, because depending on what the person had, and how much time, they could get a further 2-week extension. But it was followed upon. And they had to check in with immigration to make sure that, okay, I'm here, okay? But when that time is up, you had better be on the plane going home. Otherwise, the van was out and you were going to be one of them they were going to scoop up.
I know the blue van with the chicken wire on the side.
Yeah, so the nice leisurely trip that you were flown home on, it all came crashing down. Why? Because you now broke the law. And the employer who notified immigration did their part. Now the responsibility rests with the authorities. They need to go back to that.
Okay.
They need to go back to that. But I won't come back to this person that is defrauding our government.
Right.
And I hope that people are hearing me. Somebody is going to know if someone else is doing it, because I'm very sure this is not a one-off situation. The landlords should have reported to NAU already.
Because they're receiving the money.
That's right. That is right.
And he's not living there. But everybody benefits, so they hush them out.
He's not living there. Okay? And if he was even taking this money to buy food to eat, it wouldn't be so bad. But he's buying alcohol. He's getting, did I forget? He's being taken care of by Cineco as well. Did I forget to say that?
You didn't say that.
Oh, well, please forgive me. Because I think you can hear, I'm very riled up here.
And every Caymanian hearing this should be.
98-year-old Caymanian that can't even be buried with her dignity. Yes, no, you are rattling me. That is upsetting to me. That is upsetting to me.
Right.
Okay? You're 98 years old. You are Caymanian. You have given. You've done your time. You have now passed on. And you can't even be buried with your dignity? Huh? The family's calling their representative. Just got no time for them. Okay? But I'm sure the day of the funeral, they'll all be dressed up there, sitting up on the platform. Probably wanting to read the obituary and the tributes. But I can say something here today. And just in case my daughter forget, I want all you listeners to remind her the day that I pass on, because she has my instructions, I already have my urn. So she don't have to buy that to me. I picked that out myself. But I can tell you what, all of these makeshift representatives that we have, they better not darken the church door. to come to pay no last respect. Not to me. But my ashes not going to be there. And please do not be a hypocrite to go to my daughter or my granddaughters that you're offering and a condolences to them. But they don't need it. If you couldn't remember their mother or grandmother in all the years, and make a phone call one time to say, how are you doing? You know, just checking in. Everything's good. But don't start now, please. Do not start now. I thank God every day for his small mercies. And the day I got fall down on NAU, believe me, I can deal with that myself. I will deal with that myself. Because I'm not my daughter's responsibility. And she's not my pension. She's not responsible to maintain me and take care of me. That was my obligation to her. I have done that. Just like any other parent. It's not my insurance. Okay? We all have to plan. We have to put up for that rainy day. So if it comes to where any you would have to get involved, hell no. Hell no. I have a share in my house. Please make sure you bring my hair. The only thing I've ever asked for is to die with my dignity. And that don't cost anybody anything. And I think I said it already. I already got my own burial plot. I have my urn. I picked up my own urn.
We have a comment on WhatsApp. It says, as far as they're aware, DFA issues gift cards from Foster's to be used for groceries. I have always been under the impression that they don't issue cash, but if he's buying alcohol, are they giving cash now? I think what some are doing is, I heard.
Yes, they get cash.
They get cash?
They get cash also.
Okay.
But the cash is meant to pay utility bills. Okay?
Oh, so now that's making sense because he's not occupying the place. Yes. Okay.
But yet, when Caymanians go and ask for this help, they're told they can only get $650 a month. Huh?
Well,
and by the way, and they want to see the receipts where they spent the money.
As in where? What do you mean?
I guess wherever they spent $650. Okay,
I got you. So that's
so in other words, if you went to Foster's, you keep a receipt. If you went to the gas station, you keep a receipt. If you go to I was going to say Talltree. Talltree don't exist anymore. Or you go to Videts or wherever.
Right.
Okay? But yet, every month, he's getting $1,050 and he goes to the liquor store. He don't have to submit any receipts. And from the liquor store, he goes to Western Union. Huh? So in essence, our money that should be supporting an
local
elderly Caymanian or a vulnerable child is leaving the country. Huh? That's okay if you're here working for your money. You send it wherever you want to send it.
But not at the people's expense.
That's right. If the government could pick up these kind of welfare cases, that's what I was going to say just now. That we have two labels here. We got the haves and we got the welfares. Okay? And then we, the Caymanians, are crushed in between. That's why nobody sees us, nobody hears us. But this is one Caymanian. I don't care who get back to me. I don't care who like me. I'm going to speak. I'm going to speak. I'm not looking for any friends. And if this causes me to lose one, so be it. First of all, I wouldn't be friends with anybody that's breaking the law. Okay?
I have a question coming in from WhatsApp. Ms. Brender said that it was reported to Sandra after Isaac and Heather didn't want to pursue it. Please ask her what
No. Stop right there. That is not what I say. Anyway, finish the question.
Okay. Please ask her what Sandra said. She didn't elaborate on that.
Well, let me just correct what I said. I said Heather said she didn't want to get involved. The wife then saw Sandra, spoke to Sandra, told Sandra the whole story. Sandra did speak about it on her show the day after, but she didn't call any names. That's how I found out about it.
Okay.
Because people realized who it was. So my phone was blowing up. And I was asked if I was listening to Sandra. It was a Friday. I said, no, it wasn't. Why? What happened? And they proceeded then to tell me. Okay? And then I was called by others. And I was asked if I would be willing to state this. I said, I'm not getting involved. However, if it's a simple question, I will answer it truthfully. But other than that, I'm not getting involved. It don't make sense. This man has been a nuisance in this country from before Ivan. Okay? And yet he's still here. He's been to court for violence, for threatening to kill people. And yet he's still here. Huh?
Well, I'm hoping that the powers that be, because we all know that they listen, that they will be aware of this situation, and that the person or the MP, whoever it was, who didn't just leave it there and went to the operational arm, the DFA, let's say the enforcement arm, for it to be looked into, that this will come to a quicker resolve, and that something like this will not continue to happen, and that they could look deeper into other complaints that are being made.
You know what I hope? I hope that that person who's actually doing the job that someone else should have been doing. Oh, and I forgot to say, that was not the first time the complaint was made to the minister. Okay?
Okay.
So when the wife got to him, he was already aware of it. So what I'm hoping is that the person was taking the initiative and has enough respect for our country and knows that this is wrong. But let us hope that that person will get chopped off at the knees, because we know how that goes too, right? But let us hope that don't happen, and that the investigation and the report can be finalized. And I would say to anybody that is aware of these situations, please report it.
And report it to the Department of DFA. What you're realizing is that, yes, you may think your representative is the place to go, even if you go directly to the minister responsible for that department. Your best bet is to go and report it to the operational arm of government, which is the actual DFA department.
But let me ask you a question, because you would know this better than me. In cases like this, when people go for assistance, isn't that finalized by the minister in charge? Or is it someone in between?
No, there's someone in between him. That's the director. Okay. And yeah.
But, okay, so then
it's all operational. It's not political.
Right. So as you rightly said, you may not know where to go.
Just go to the department.
Or a representative.
They should be directing you to the department. Right.
They shouldn't say they can't do anything about it.
Yes, ma'am.
Or I don't want to get involved.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
This is why certain operational aspects, I cringe when I hear ministers do statements on them. And I'm like, why are you doing it? Do not feel compelled to make a statement if it is operational, because you're almost mixing it up, operational versus political. Do not feel pressured. And it's not that you're throwing anybody under the bus. There's a clear separation when it's convenient. So you need to know the operational arm and the political arm. And but direction is nothing hard, because we've had a lot of people in my days came to us with reports and so forth, and I directed them accordingly. Where my assistant in the constituency office will assist with filling out papers, navigating a website, that service was provided. Sabrina did a hands-off because it was operational, but those persons needed the assistance in preparing how to do either a complaint
Well,
or file an application.
Again, let me repeat this. This is where elected members need to stay out of these things.
Exactly.
If they're not going to correct a wrong, then they shouldn't create a wrong. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we have a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, if you're not up to the job, step down. It's just like going to start any other job and you realize it's not the job
bigger than
for
you.
me.
Yeah. Well, you see,
Why
like this
are
now.
you going to stay there, make yourself unhappy, be humiliated, have other people laugh at you and talk about you that you're not ready for the job and X, Y, and Z, and your wife wears the pants and this and that and that. Wouldn't you just be better off stepping down? There's no shame in saying that job wasn't for me. I gave it a shot. It wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
There is no crime. There is no national security broken if we have to have a by-election.
Mm-hmm.
I would much prefer to see us have by-elections and we get a proper representative in that can represent the people. That's what they voted for.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they voted for. That is what we should have. And then stay out of other ministers' portfolios, looking favors to your people. Because I'm sure we all know they haven't all gone in there. The majority of them didn't go in there to look out for Caymanians. Caymanians only are necessary because they need their vote. But if you want to know how important you are afterwards, call them the day after elections day. But you know whose calls they can't refuse? Their handlers.
I'm going to ask you to leave me there. We can pick this up tomorrow if you're inclined to, give us some examples of others. But what I wanted to add to this is that there are a lot of information when an elected arm, especially if you're a minister, and it directly impacts, of course, either the ministry that you're for, or you can bring in your colleague and say, look, maybe you need to look at a policy that can avoid this from happening, because even though this is how operationally things are handled, this is a case that presented itself. What kind of policies or legislation could we amend, which is our responsibility as elected arm, that we could improve this process, close this loophole? That's where MPs then are aware of, hold on, this process now working. This not making no sense. But the actual day-to-day operation of getting involved, doing the enforcement arm, direct them to the department. Let the civil servants bring it to the attention of your chief officer then, for example, or direct those individuals directly to the department. That's the best way to separate the operational arm from the elected arm. That's your best bet. Miss Brenda?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. No, you were speaking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just want to say, I know it was a lengthy call.
No, that's fine. We're over now, but we're in a little overtime, but that's okay. Yeah.
So I appreciate you giving me the time to vent and to put this out there.
Sure.
I don't like injustices. We have all had aging parents at some stage.
Mm-hmm.
And, this is very painful to me when I look at other Caymanians who may not have children, that have the means to take care of them or to give them a dignified send-off.
Yes.
And we can have this kind of stuff here on this island defrauding our government?
Mm-hmm.
No, that affects all of us. All of us, dead or alive.
You're correct.
And I say, let's put a stop to it. It has to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's like reporting about neglected children or molested children or abused children. You got to wait till the child is raped and killed before you act? No, it's too late then.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's too late then.
Proactive instead of being reactive. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Exactly. It shouldn't take you 3 months to go and do that investigation. And because you didn't catch the person in the act, does it mean you don't follow up on it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anyhow, my love, thank you so much. Call in tomorrow's open mic. I'm taking a couple of days off next week, and but we will just do this for the entire summer. And I want to thank you. I love this field, to be honest, but not all the time people call, and I got to have content. Some will be lighter, some will be harder, but once it's open mic summer edition, we will stop Full stop. And just turn the mic over to our audience.
Well, I'm not sure that I'll catch you tomorrow. Tomorrow's my baby's birthday.
Oh, yes, I heard that this morning. Yeah, happy birthday.
And,
when she comes.
She and I might be going to dinner.
Go girl, go girl. Well, I'm going to Patrick's candlelight.
If not, we're definitely going to be doing something.
All right. Well, if you care to, I'd be more than happy to do a little flyer and send her Sabrina Speaks love. If you can send me a WhatsApp with her picture, if you so desire, I'd be more than happy to share her on the platform and get some love. Going.
Yes, I would have to check with her.
Yeah,
first.
Of course, with her permission. All right. Take care, my dear. All the best. Thank you for your contribution.
Okay.
There we go. Bye-bye. There we have it. We have come to the end of the Thursday episode of Sabrina Speaks. We want to thank our commenters. We want to thank our callers. And yes, we do. That's what I love about this open mic segment. We stopped full in our tracks. We were able to, with that caller going into great detail as to some of the ills that are happening here. We got even Harry, our virtual Caymanian status holder from the United Kingdom, that is agreeing fully with the caller, because I'm quite sure with some of the issues that they're having in the United Kingdom, he can relate to some of these very same things that is happening here in the Cayman Islands is happening over there. Even Donnie agrees. Yes, she's saying speak it. And they're loving this openness, transparency. And she hit a lot of nails on the head today. And this is why public participation and definitely, is key. There's one thing about being a host of a platform, but when people like you actually call in and you can speak about things, it definitely wakes up a system. It causes you to look at things from a different lens and look then at more laws, policies, procedures. But the key is understanding the operational arm and the elected arm. And this is why I love that we learn in this space, one episode at a time, and that we can hear each other out respectfully. We get these stories out there, and the relevant persons I know are listening, but they will do whatever they can to make sure they get the boots on the ground, the resources, the systems that is needed. And as that rightfully that caller says, everybody do their job. Because where there's no accountability, we will continue to see our country's national budget hemorrhage. When there are no gatekeepers, when there are no enforcement, then what's the sense of our politician making policies, rules, regulations, and laws? If there's no gatekeeping, if there's no accountability, if there's no operation of the operational arm, guess what's going to happen? The elected arm is going to become a bunch of piranhas, when in fact, they're not there to execute. They're really not. But they should be informed enough to direct people accordingly. I want to thank you all for joining me. Harry says, same over there in the UK. We agree. We can pick this up and elaborate on it some more tomorrow on the Friday episode as we look and wind down. No, Free Flow Friday as the open mic summer edition continues here on Sabrina Speak. Please be safe on the roads. Please do have a good evening and enjoy whatever it is you're doing. Oh, I got a last minute thing. Yeah. This was shared with me and I want to promote this. East End and Northside local farmers market, Friends and Needles. Look at this. Free school uniform alterations, free. You see what a blessed place we're living in. Bring your clean uniforms and children for fitting at the market. Friends and Needles will provide complimentary hemming, repairs, button replacements for East End Primary, Northside Primary, and Clifton Hunter High School students during market hours. Now, this is starting from August 15th from 9:30 in the morning until 4 p.m. at the East End Heritage Field. This was just shared with me. I will definitely put this under the community calendar for tomorrow, but I just wanted to close off with this as a gentle reminder. So all of my people in East End and Northside, any child that's going to the Clifton Hunter High School, Northside Primary School, and East End Primary School, if there are any alterations that are needed to their uniforms, this will be free on August 15th from 9 until 4 p.m. That concludes it. Bye, Harry. Have a good night. Bye to all of you who stayed with me and those who joined us even last minute. Thank you for our call as well, and even our WhatsApp messages. Until tomorrow, love you lots. Good night. God bless.
That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of the conversation. Remember, the dialogue doesn't stop here. Stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, stay empowered. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m., same time, same place, right here on CMR TV and radio, where your voice matters and your truth is heard. Until then, K-Man, take care of yourself and each other.
That's it for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks, where your voice matters, your story counts, and your truth is always welcome. Join us weekdays from 5 until 6:30 p.m. right here on CMR TV as we dive into the topics that matter most to you. Catch the show live or on demand at cmrtv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always speak your truth.